Hello, 8th graders. Today we are going to be talking about the skill of test taking. Did you know that taking a test is a skill all by itself? It doesn't even matter what the test is on. There are certain skills and strategies that make some people really good at taking tests and others not so good at taking tests. So today we're actually going to talk about some of those skills that will help you be phenomenal test takers, okay? And this is a skill that you'll use for years and years and years to come. You'll use it all this year, you'll use it all throughout high school and college if you choose. It'll help you on your ACTs, your SATs, on your STAR 360 tests at the end of the year, your MCAs. So lots of applications for where you will use these skills and strategies we're going to talk about today. We won't talk about all of them today. We're going to focus on one today that I think is the most beneficial for you to make you be awesome at taking tests and getting good grades on them. Okay? So, now that I have piqued your interest, we'll get started. So whenever I teach test taking skills or strategies, I like to use this term, crush it. Okay, and it's an acronym, and it stands for these things here, but I like to just say, go crush it, go crush the test, right? So the first thing that you'll start with is to close read the passage. And that helps you make sure that you deeply and truly understand what it is you're reading. You're not just skimming it, you're getting really into the text, really understanding what's going on, summarizing it, chunking it like we've been doing and practicing. Okay, so close read, that's a number one, right? Then, as you probably already do, you read the question, okay? You may even use this strategy. We'll come back and we'll talk about underlining the key words in the question, because being able to read and understand the question is a really important step in finding the right answer, because sometimes, and I think you probably know this, those test questions are really tricky. Like, choose the best option. Well, what does that mean? That probably means there's two options that are kind of correct, but one of them is better than the other. Right? So understanding what those questions are is really important. So we'll talk more about underlining keywords in the questions and in the answers to help you better pick and choose and understand what they're asking. Okay, studying the answer choices. Okay, make sure you read through all of them. That's probably a test taking strategy you already know. Reading all the options to make sure that you don't have two that are kind of correct and you have to pick the best one. Okay. And head back to the text. And this is actually where our focus is going to be, to head back to the text, okay? Rather than just selecting an option and selecting an answer that you think is best and then moving on to the next question, I want you to go back to the text and do what I call is proving your answer correct. And we're going to talk about that today. Okay, so that leads us to the I in crush it. Identify the answer inside the text. Make sure that you are correct. And then take it one at a time and keep breathing because you will get through it. Okay, so today the focus of our lesson is going to be on these steps here. Going back to the text and proving your answer correct. And I'll show you what I mean, okay? Okay, so you think you know the answer. The step is, before you just move on to the next question, step is to prove it. Prove that it is correct right inside the passage you read. Okay, so on your MCAs you have the option to highlight. On Word documents you can highlight or underline. On PDF documents you can use the highlighter tool to go back and actually show where the answer is inside of the text. Okay, so for example, what is the main idea of the first passage? Okay, and the answer is current research shows that diet and acne are unrelated. Okay, if I go back and this is the correct answer, but I'm going to go prove it. Okay, experiments have not found any single food source that causes acne. I can prove that this is the answer because here it is inside of the passage. That's what we're going to be practicing today. Okay, so we're going to go through an example together and actually practice together before you get to your passage today and your quiz. So this is the passage that we're going to be reading. It's Acne, Facts, and Fiction, right? And so the first step is to close read the passage, and that's why we have some space over here on the side. Okay. On your MCA test or on any kind of computer test where you cannot write directly on the passage, I strongly recommend that you actually take notes on a piece of paper. You can have paper on your MCA tests, and of course for any test that we have here in school, online, or through your Star 360, you have access to paper at your home. And so you could actually number the paragraphs, number 1, number 2, number 3, and you could create your close reading notes and share them on the paper itself in front of you. Okay, if it's a Word document, you could actually create a note or a comment, and I can show you how to do that as well. But this is one thing that I would recommend that you do is if you can't write directly on the text, if you can't print it out, if you can't have it in front of you to write directly on, do take those notes somewhere else. Okay, so let's read through this first paragraph together. Many people think that eating chocolate can cause acne. However, scientific research has proven that notion to be false. Some people also claim that pizza, dairy products, or potato chips can trigger outbreaks, yet repeated experiments have not found a single food source that causes acne. Nevertheless, the belief that food is connected to this common skin problem persists. Eating a balanced diet that includes healthy foods, fruits, and vegetables is important for staying strong, growing properly, and avoiding health problems in the future, but it will not prevent acne. So if we're going to go and take some notes on this information, I'm going to pull out the most important information. This is my close reading notes. Remember, they don't have to be complete sentences or complete thoughts. They're just facts, data, anything that you think is important that you need to know for later. So I'm going to write down scientific research suggests that food does not cause acne. A balanced diet is good for you, but doesn't prevent acne. So basically I've suggested the main idea of this paragraph and the important details I need to know. Let's take a look at the second paragraph. A recent study did identify one specific source of acne outbreaks, but unfortunately, it is one that most people will likely encounter regularly: stress. Researchers followed 94 high school students with mild or moderate acne and found that they were 23% more likely to experience breakouts during times of stress, such as before tests, sporting events, or major holidays. So again, I'm going to take my close reading notes. Stress does cause acne. Stress like before tests, sporting events, holidays. Note, I don't have complete sentences or proper grammar here, and that's okay. I'm just using, these are notes for me, so that I can come back to the text and I can know what each paragraph is about. Okay? Moving on to the final paragraph. Researchers looked for a physical source of acne, but it was not where they expected to find it. Many people have previously believed that acne is related to sebum, which is an oily substance that covers and protects the skin and hair. Sebum levels increase and decrease with changes in temperature and humidity. The acne study was conducted in Singapore, where those climate factors rarely fluctuate. Okay, so as a reader, I'm just checking my understanding and saying, okay, in Singapore, temperatures and humidity don't change a lot. That's what I understand that to mean. The research team found that the participants' sebum levels did not change with their stress levels. The lack of sebum change during the study effectively eliminated sebum as a major contributor to acne. So again, I'm checking my understanding and making sure I understand. So sebum does not impact acne. Okay. Since stress is known to cause inflammation, the research team suspects that inflammation is a likely cause of increased acne breakouts. Okay, so I'm going to take my close reading notes. What do I understand to be true from this paragraph? It's long, and there's a lot of facts and a lot of information in it. So I want to make sure I really truly understand it by using my close reading notes. Okay. Many believe that sebum caused acne. Sebum, I need to know what it is, right? So here's my fact: is an oily substance on the skin. A study in Singapore proved that sebum does not contribute to acne. Stress causes inflammation, and this is the cause of the breakouts. I'm sorry if you can't see the bottom there. There you go. Okay, so step one, done. I know that I've truly read this article very carefully. I didn't skim it, I didn't go over it kind of surface level. I really got into it, and I know because this close reading forced me to do it. Okay, so love it or hate it, close reading is going to make sure you understand the passage better. Okay, so step two, I'm going to read the question and the answers very carefully. So looking again at the first one that we've already talked about, what is the main idea of the first paragraph? So again, we're looking at the main idea. Okay, so if I go back to the main idea, I want to know what's going on in this very first paragraph. Okay, so current research shows that diet and acne are unrelated. Scientists believe that specific foods cause acne. Oh, and another test-taking strategy you probably already know is cross out ones you know are not true. I know that's not true. Okay. Staying strong and growing properly are more important than preventing acne. While they do suggest that you should be eating good foods to stay strong and grow properly, it does not say that it's more important than acne. And eating a balanced diet that includes fruits and vegetables will prevent acne. Wait, nope. I know that's not true. Okay, so I know that A is my answer, but I am going to go back and prove this in the text. Okay, so I've selected what I believe to be the best answer, and now I'm going to go back and I'm going to make sure that I'm right. Okay, make sure I didn't read a word wrong or skim through the options incorrectly. If you weren't reading very closely, you might say, oh, it talks about a balanced diet, fruits and vegetables. Yeah, okay, cool, that's in there. And if you weren't reading closely, you might accidentally pick the wrong answer. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to make sure. Here's my evidence. Okay, let's take a look at question 2. According to the passage, which event would be most likely to cause an acne breakout? Eating ice cream, taking a fun weekend trip, competing in a track meet, or watching television? Well, it doesn't talk about eating ice cream, so I don't think it's that one. And, well, I guess it does say dairy products, but that's not supposed to cause that. So I'm going to cross out food because we know food doesn't cause acne. A fun weekend trip doesn't cause anybody stress, so I don't think it's that. Watching television isn't stressful, so it's probably not that, but it did say that stress, like sporting events, cause acne. So I choose my best answer, but I'm going to go back, and here's the critical step that we're practicing today. I'm going to prove it to myself. So I know that when I click next and I go to the next question, I know that I got this one right. And so I'm going to come back here and prove it. I'm going to underline where I found the evidence of this answer. Okay, you're 23% more likely to experience breakout during times of stress, such as a sporting event. Okay. 3. Researchers chose to study acne in Singapore because the climate there, and here I'm giving you the answer, causes few changes in the sebum levels. But again, go back and prove that answer. Prove that answer to be correct. Okay, find it in the passage. Okay, Singapore, who those climate factors rarely fluctuate, okay, this section right here proves that, okay, yes, I know that this is the answer. Okay, same thing with our final question. Investigators conclude that acne breakouts during stressful periods are most likely related to, okay, since stress is known to cause inflammation, inflammation causes breakouts. So we know the answer is increased inflammation, and we know that we have the correct answer because we've proven it in the text. Okay? And these do take extra time. These steps, they take extra time. But it's worth it. And you will, I promise you, if you do this, you close read and you go back and you prove your answers in the text, you will see that your test scores improve immensely. Okay? I promise. Okay, so let's talk about next steps. Okay? You are going to go and you're going to click to the next section of this lesson and you're going to open up the Word document. The Word document is your passage. So these are your test questions. Okay? But before you go and actually take the quiz on D2L, which is at the end of our lesson, I want you to read through the passage, okay? Use your close reading strategies to read through the passage, and then I want you to go back and prove your answers. Okay, so read through question 1. Why is the theremin an unusual instrument? Okay, select the answer you believe to be true, but go back and either underline or highlight you what proves that answer to be correct or to be true. Okay, so find evidence of your answer right in the passage. Highlight it, underline it. Okay, and like I said, this will be the questions that are on your test. So as you've essentially taken your test, now when you click next to go to the end of the lesson and you see the quiz questions there, you will actually just put the answers in that you've already found. Okay, and now you know they're correct because you've gone back and you've proven them to be correct right inside the passage. Okay, so this is a test taking strategy that I would like you to use from now until forever. Okay, forever, on every quiz in our course or any quiz in your science class or your social studies class. Okay, it will help you. All right. If you have any questions about your next steps or about this lesson, please reach out to your teacher. Otherwise, click next to open your Word document, do your close reading, and find the answers and prove them in the text, and finally take the quiz. As with every Nonfiction Friday, please take some time today to go on to Stride to continue practicing and growing in your English and writing, language arts, and reading and writing skills. Again, have a wonderful day and prove your answers correct. Take care, everyone.